So in our game, we use AStar for pathfinding. Manually placing all the nodes across all of our 4D maps would be quite time-consuming and taxing. So I made an editor window tool for map called MapMaker, and amongst one of the features is the AStar Baking tool. So when opening the AStar Baking tool, we have baking, validation, and editing. So we already have a map currently existing, and I make the gizmos visible only when the AStar Baking is open, otherwise working on the map would be difficult. So we can set the space between nodes, an optimization called buckets, the agent width and height in order to ensure spaces around walls, and something called rebake openables. So we have doors in maps, and by using the AStar baking system, I can map certain paths and nodeways to those doors so that when those doors open, the path becomes open. You'll notice that there's some gaps here, and that's because we decided we didn't want AI going between those. But I could rebake the current map and change the space between nodes if I wish. Now let's just say we want to edit specific locations. We can go to editing. Now, the easiest way of doing deletions is simply just to select and delete nodes. However, these neighbors now have null references. So we can go into validation and validate and clean all the nodes, and it lets you know that they got cleaned. So that way there's no problems. Now let's just say I wanted to add some nodes in this area. I could create an area node placer, place it, and then consume it, and it'll turn into nodes. I can select a node, or let's say these two nodes that I wish to link, and then I can link. So I can link local selection by distance, so everything that's locally selected. I can link selected ones with everything by distance, so select these and select all by distance. Increase the distance to 2. There you go. Oops, overdid that one. Clear links on selected nodes, so let's do that. And I can also do something, delete all non-connected nodes. And this is a special feature because sometimes when we bake, if the map is a strange shape, we can have nodes outside of the map. So I'm going to grab these ones. Oops. Put them out. So let's just say we baked and there was some on the outside. Now we can go through and manually delete them all. Or if you select one of the nodes, which is part of the system, you can say delete all non-connected nodes. And then it deletes everything that's not connected to this major grid system. Now in terms of a little bit about the back end, when baking these systems, if we have public links to other nodes, Unity has memory overflow exceptions when trying to make a build if too many objects in the scene have references to too many other objects. So an optimization that was required is the baking doesn't have references to the other nodes, but simply has references to their GUIDs, and then I have a system for mapping that. The final result can always be validated, and there's plenty of error checking and messages in the game when running. This tool is robust enough to allow us to generate very large maps. As you can see, some of these nodes are different colors because they are tied to doors, and the doors have links to their buttons, so these nodes, when an AI wants to traverse past it, will then go to the button to open the door so that they can pass through.